What travelers should know about the ETIAS travel authorization requirements. There are a few things that you need to understand about ETIAS travel authorization requirements. With Europe being the most visited continent in the world, you'd expect it gets a lot of tourists. In 2017, countries like Germany, Spain, France, Italy welcomed more than 37 million international visitors each. Makes you wonder what the entire continent had. Well, we can't be too surprised. Europe contains the world's most fascinating museums, beautiful cuisine, and brilliant architecture. They deserved their place on the podium. Specifically, Europe counts as a very popular tourist destination for American citizens. Part of the perks of being an American citizen is not needing a tourist visa to visit almost all countries. Well, things might just be changing. From the 1st of January 2021, all U.S. citizens who would like to travel to the 26 member states of Europe's Schengen zone would need to register. But it sure doesn't just affect the U.S. but many more countries. You read it right. First, they'll need to register with the European Travel Information and Authorization System, which is the ETIAS. What more? If you don't do this, you risk getting turned down at the border. We're sure you're curious about the process and why it's even happening. Perhaps you have even more questions. Well, we've got you. Read further to find out more about this shocking development. Why the travel authorization change in Europe? You must be wondering, what's the deal? And why now? Well, as you may or may not know, there have been ongoing terrorist threats on European soil. Scary, right? So, we can call this process a defense mechanism. Now the European Union has chosen to carry out the ETIAS to guard and strengthen its borders. Also, by making visitors register using this new travel authorization program, the European Union will be able to detect any probable risks and threats. What's more, they would be able to detect these harmful risks before they arrive. So, in adherence to this measure, the U.S., as well as other country nationals, will not be able to enter Europe without registering. Lastly, this effect takes place starting from the 1st of January 2021. Does this mean you need a visa to travel to Europe? Well, we're here to tell you, it isn't a visa. The ETIAS is a travel authorization for visa-free travelers. This piece of information was given by the European Commission and the US State Department officials to the Washington Post. The ETIAS shares very similar characteristics to the US Electronic System for Travel Authorization, ESTA. Need more confirmation? We got you. In July 2018, the European Commission released a fact sheet. What does it say, you may ask? It just reiterates that the ETIAS authorization is not a visa. It goes further to say that the nationals of visa liberalization countries would continue to travel into the EU without a visa. The only difference would be that they need to get a travel authorization via ETIAS before their travel or trip. Furthermore, it reassures that the ETIAS travel authorization does not institute visa-like duties. It continues to say that there would be no need to go to a consulate to make an application. Additionally, no biometric data would be needed. All in all, notably less information is collected as compared to a visa application procedure. Which European countries would need this authorization? This is a very valid question. Does the ETIAS authorization affect all European countries or just a couple? Well, this new travel authorization only applies to any traveler coming into any member of Europe's Schengen zone. Presently, this includes 22 countries who are also members of the EU, 4 non-EU countries, and 3 European micro-states. So, the countries you would need this authorization from are Austria, Belgium, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, and Finland. Additionally, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Latvia, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, and the Netherlands. Hang on with us here. There's more. Then we have Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland. Phew. Well, we're done with the first group of countries. Now, the micro-states that require this registration include San Marino, Vatican City, and Monaco. What about Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, and Cyprus? Well, they aren't presently Schengen countries, but they are in the process of joining. When eventually do, they would be subject to the same requirements. Nevertheless, there are still many European countries or nations that aren't in the Schengen zone. This is most especially in the eastern area of the continent. In consequence, you would be able to travel to Albania, Andorra, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Bosnia, and Herzegovina without ETIAS registration. How long would the ETIAS registration take? You don't need to fret. It's a very simple process. The ETIAS application would be available online. Then according to Schengenvisa.info.com, it should ordinarily take you about 10 minutes. See? So simple. But what would you need to apply? Well, let's take you down that road. You would need a valid passport, an email address, and a debit or credit card. The card that comes with the list is used to pay the €7 application fee. This charge is non-refundable and is the only charge associated with this process. This process involves answering your application online with your personal information on your passport. This stage is then followed by a series of security and health-related questions that would need to be answered. At the end of this, the process is approved and sent to your email address after a couple of hours. This is done after it has been checked across various security databases. This includes Interpol and Europol. We found another perk. Here it is. Even if you have children under the age of 18, they would still need to get an ETIAS registration, but they would not be charged the application fee. How often do you need to register with ETIAS? This is also another valid concern. Would you need to do it every 6 months or every year or every 2 years? Again, we got you. After you apply for your ETIAS, it will be valid for 3 years or until your passport expires. It depends on which comes first. Another fact, the ETIAS is valid for short-term stays of up to 90 days. This is because they're meant for leisure or business travelers. The upside about this is that it allows you to travel multiple times within those 3 years. And this is only valid if your stay doesn't exceed 90 days within a 180-day duration. Lastly, due to the short nature of the registration, those traveling for study or work in the above-listed countries would need to apply for a visa. What are the specific countries that need ETIAS registration? At this point in your travel plan, you're already trying to tick off all the things you've taken care of. And then you remember the ETIAS registration and are wondering if that country you chose would need the ETIAS registration. In total, there are 62 countries involved with the ETIAS registration. Well, let's look at all the countries involved. They include Albania, Andorra, Antigua and Barbuda, Argentina, Australia, Bahamas, Barbados, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Brazil. There's more. We have Brunei, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Dominica, El Salvador, Georgia, Grenada, Guatemala, Vatican City State, and Honduras. We're getting there. We have Hong Kong S.A.R., Israel, Japan, Kiribati, Macau S.A.R., Malaysia, Marshall Islands, Mauritius, Mexico, Micronesia, Moldova, and